Hey coaches and leaders, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Biran and I'm here to help you grow your coaching business and enhance your coaching skills. Today we are here to tackle the most common coaching challenges: imposter syndrome, client resistance, and the temptation to rescue your client. In this video, I'm going to give you practical solutions to tackle these challenges so that you can create a bigger impact. Let's start with the first one, client resistance. This can happen two different ways. The first one, they want to be there, but they're not yet feeling comfortable with the idea of change or not comfortable with you yet. The second one is when you're hired by an organization and the coachee is pushed into this coaching initiative, whereas it is not their first preference, or maybe they don't want to be there in this coaching program. In your initial meeting with the client or the client's sponsor, maybe this is the line manager or the HR, they seem to agree to this initiative, but when it comes to your one-to-one sessions, they don't open up. In both of these situations, first recognize this is totally normal and common. This oftentimes comes from fear, either fear of being judged or fear of losing their job or fear of how you're going to report the conversations to the organization. Even if you're not hired by the organization, the client come to you willingly, they might be afraid of changing the way that they do things. The most useful approach in these situations is to be vulnerable and open and first focusing on building a trustful relationship. Focus on building trust through active listening, being non-judgmental, even being vulnerable yourself as a coach. Once you believe that you created that space, safe space for them, you can address your observations. You can tell them that you have this observation that whenever you ask a question, they don't want to open up or they're not feeling comfortable, and you might invite them to explore this a little bit further. You also need to respect their pace. Sometimes it takes time for people to open up. So just don't start to form judgments about your client's resistance from the very first session. Take your time. Trust is not something that is built overnight. And remember, please, this is their journey, not yours. Okay, next up is the imposter syndrome as a coach. You remember that? Don't worry. Every one of us have been there, and some of us are still experiencing it. It is extremely normal to feel like you're not enough, you're not experienced enough, you're not qualified enough, you are not even old enough. Because I started my own coaching business when I was 29 years old, I always had that voice in my head, that critic voice, that saboteur voice in my head telling that you're not experienced enough, you're not old enough, who's gonna care? So simply it says, you are not enough. This little voice in your head, that imposter syndrome, actually it is there to serve you. Then how do we deal with this inner critic, that inner voice that keeps saying that we are not enough, we are not good enough, we are not experienced enough, we are not qualified enough? How do we deal with it? Actually, this is a part of you. You just need to acknowledge it first. Then how are we going to acknowledge that and why? Think about this little voice as a part of you, but not all of you. We all have these different voices in our heads, but these so-called negative voices they tend to be louder when especially you are learning something new. At the beginning of your coaching journey, it is so normal that feeling like you are not there yet. And yes, that is true. Maybe you are not there yet, but it is another question. Are we ever gonna be there? So it's a different conversation. But what I'm trying to say is when we feel like we are not there yet, that voice, that part of us actually drives us to learn more, to practice more. So it is there in a way that serves us. The problem is when we let that voice, that inner critic, to rule our lives, or simply rule our coaching sessions. What we need to do is to really have a conversation with that voice, that part of us, to understand how they serve us. And sometimes it is just acknowledging that voice and saying, okay, I understand, I hear you, but thank you, you're not needed in here. Or you can say, I understand, yes, I'm not there yet, but I'm learning. You can say, I understand, it's really normal to feel this way, and I will get better by practicing. Remember, confidence is built by action. As you keep coaching, keep practicing, keep learning new tools and techniques, you will feel more confident. And that little voice in your head, it will start to disappear or at least dial down. By the way, if you have found this video helpful so far, please don't forget to like and share with others so that we can spread the power of coaching. Challenge number 3, temptation to rescue the client. This is one of the biggest challenges that my coaches come to the sessions for coaching supervision. This can be jumping into finding solutions or giving direct advice or feeling responsible when clients don't take action or make progress. While this comes from a place of wanting to help, it can disempower the client and also the coach. The role of the coach is to facilitate and create a safe space for growth, self-discovery through asking non-judgmental questions, powerful questions, through empathic listening, through helping them to discover their own truth, but not yours. So resist to the temptation of saving them. You are not their savior. Sometimes it might be the clients asking for your advice, or sometimes it might be the client's words or phrases or body language that might trigger you, and you might want to jump in and help. So bring that into your coaching supervision and discover what are your triggers and how you can manage them. But always remember, this is not about you. This journey, this coaching journey is about your coachee. You are not responsible to solving their problems in their lives. It's not your role carrying them through tough times. So there you have it. 3 most common challenges that coaches face. I have experienced similar challenges in my journey of becoming a coach. But hey, everyone is different. These challenges might be easier for some to deal with and not so easy for the others. If you want to dive into a conversation and explore more of your challenges, just book a free call with me. I'm leaving the link into the description box below to my calendar, so book a session. It's completely free. Also, I'm leaving the link to the coaching tools in the description box below. You might find it helpful for mastering your coaching skills. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.